Hello, my name is Melitta Ngalonkulu and I am a journalist for Moneyweb. I am going to be unpacking the funding process during this COVID-19 pandemic so that small businesses may have a clear understanding of where to go and what it is that is required of them. So I'm going to start with the Department of Small Business Development. The Department of Small Business Development has two main funds, which is the Debt Relief Finance Scheme, as well as the Growth Resilience Fund, or Business Growth, which is what they call it. So the Business Growth or Resilience Facility is mainly for companies that would like to supply any form of PPE equipment that is needed at this time. Your PPE equipment basically includes your masks, your gloves, and personal gear, that those are on the forefront of combating COVID-19 at this time could keep themselves safe. So if you are looking to supply any of these equipment, then you would go to the department and apply for this funding and they will be able to assist. So obviously there are some qualifying criteria which you need to follow. You must submit the same documents basically as that you would submit if you were requiring a debt relief fund, which is basically your CPIC certificates, and you must have been a company that's been in existence by the 28th of February 2020. The company must be owned by South African citizens, and 70% of the employees of the company need to be South African. And it is very important also to note that the priority will be given to businesses owned by women, youth, and people with disabilities. The most important documents, I'm just giving you these documents in a nutshell, but you need to look at the attached PDF file which is attached to this recording. So you also need your FICA documents, your certified ID copies, your 3 months bank statements. So it is very important to note that. And another thing that I feel that it needs to be outlined about the Debt Relief Fund and as well as the Growth Resilience Fund is that it is not for companies that have been in financial strain prior to COVID-19. So if you are having financial difficulties and you're struggling to pay your employees or pay your suppliers before the 28th of February, unfortunately, the government will not be able to assist you. These funds are there to assist businesses during this pandemic. So the second fund that I would actually like to touch on is South African Future Trust, which is called SAFT. So it is basically known as the Oppenheimer Family Fund, which was announced by the president during one of his speeches. So this initiative is basically aimed at supporting small and medium enterprises that are financially impacted by COVID-19. So businesses for this funding will qualify for 750 Rand per permanent employee per week for 15 weeks. So it's very important here as well to note that the money is not available for directors, but this fund is mainly to assist employers pay for their employees at this time that might be struggling. So you also need to have been a business that's been operating for 12 months at this stage, and the assistance will be a loan at a prime rate of 5%. Repayment terms will be decided on an individual basis based on the cash flow projections. And it's also important for the directors of the business to have a good credit score. And the maximum amount that a business can apply for is 15 million. So where do you go basically to apply for this funding? You can actually go to any of your banks, which is your ABSA, your Nedbank, your Standard Bank, and they will be able to assist you. If you're looking for more information on this fund as well, you can actually look at the attached PDF for this recording. Tourism industry is the hardest hit at this point. So the Department of Tourism has also a form of relief for businesses in this industry. So if you are in accommodation, hospitality, travel, or any other related services such as tour operators, travel agents, tour guiding, car rental companies, as well as coach operators, then you do qualify for this form of funding. The funding is capped at 50,000 per business, and the turnover of the business that's applying for this form of funding needs to be less than 5 million Rand annually. The business needs to be in accommodation, hospitality, services, within tourism. Financial statements are required when you are applying for this funding, and you need to be able to justify how you have been impacted by COVID-19 during this period. And it's also important that you have been operating for at least 1 year or more. The property sector as well is not left to find its own way during this period. So the Property Industry Group has a funding which is called Retail Tenants Relief Package. So this package basically is intended to assist large retail tenants hardest hit by the pandemic. The value of the relief package is estimated to be between 2 million and 3 billion rand. So what you need to do to apply for this form of funding is to actually go to your landlord and apply via them. So you also have been in good standing when it comes to your rental payments by the 29th of February 2020. Annual turnover needs to be less than 80 million rand a year, and the relief is offered in the form of a rental discount or deferral for the month of April and May. The National Empowerment Fund for Black Businesses also has a fund. So this fund is available for 200 million rand. So if you would like to apply, please note that this funding is available from 500,000 to 10 million per business. The loans are offered at 0% interest for the first year and thereafter 2.5% per year. And it is repayable over a maximum of 60 months. So just like any other funds which are available, you need to have it in good standing, basically. And you need to be a registered company. You need to require working capital of funds to purchase machinery and equipment. So this fund is basically very similar to the Growth Resilience Fund, but the important thing to note is that it's for businesses that have 50% Black ownership or more. So that's basically the most important funds which I feel like I should speak on for small businesses so that they may be able to understand. Please note that the Department as well of Labour has UIF available for businesses that are unable to pay their employees, and also the Department of Agriculture, Land Reform and Rural Development also has funding available, and there is also some form of tax relief which is being made available for small businesses. I do hope that this will be of assistance for you to actually navigate on what you need to do during this period.